Hey guys, and welcome to EV News episode 18, 20th of October 2024. We've got a fairly big week of EV and EV/Tesla related news, so it should be a good one. As always, if you're watching, please jump on the chat and throw some comments in. Let us know what you think. Feel free to jump on live if you want as well, either with camera or audio or whatever suits you. But please engage and let us know what you think of the different bits of news. And without further ado, I'll get into it. All right. So we've actually got a special guest, looks like, coming on next week. So definitely stay tuned for that one. Should be a good one. All right, as far as news goes, this one just broke this morning. So these are rumours. I'll stress that they're rumours. They are fairly credible. They seem fairly credible. But the rumours are suggesting that Tesla will begin trial production of the new Model Y, codenamed Juniper, next week in China, in the Shanghai Megafactory. These are definitely earlier than I expected. I didn't think they would have anything happening this year. I thought they would start, early January. I guess the danger here is that how this is going to affect Q4 sales figures as this news gets out. I think there will be some sort of an Osborne effect as far as people holding off their orders, waiting for the new design. And just on that, these pictures here are just renders. They're not an official design, just what we think they look like based on the leaks we have seen and what we know of the current change to the Model 3. So that's definitely not confirmed. That's how it will look. We've seen a fair bit of imagery of the back area, which does tend to suggest it looks similar to that, although the number plate we know has been moved down to the bottom. But the front there is based on the Model 3 and with the light bar, which is not confirmed as far as I'm aware. So just be aware that I don't like to present anything that isn't confirmed without giving the appropriate warnings that these are just speculation and that kind of thing. So that's just what we've got at the moment. Hey, Hal, good to see you, mate. How's your week been? But I do think this is going to affect the Q4 sales figures. We know that Tesla's been pushing hard to at least match last year's sales after a year that's been very bad for the car industry as a whole. We've seen some very promising figures over the last few months, but now that this has come out, being their best-selling vehicle, it'll be interesting to see if that does make a dent or not, or whether they're confident enough they've already got the sales to do that, meet the target they've set. We've also got the earnings report coming out in the next week too, so that'll be interesting to see what they say there. Okay, so we talked last week about wireless charging, and we were speculating about the efficiency. I did a little bit of research and actually really surprised myself. There was a video by Bjorn Nyland, if you know his channel, definitely worth watching. They did some really extensive tests on comparing wireless charging to plug-in charging. It's about 2 years ago. They used an iPace, and the charge rate was actually faster, the same battery levels on the inductive charging than it was in wired. So they they tested in both cases from 70 to 90%. It took 20 minutes on the inductive charging and 32 on the wired charging. They actually went to quite a bit of length, and they had an electrician. They actually plugged directly into the supply for the charger to do testing, and they measured efficiencies. And they actually found that the efficiency on the inductive charging was 86%, whereas it was only 75% on the cable charging. So that was definitely a big surprise. There was some speculation because the Jaguar I-Pace doesn't give you the same sort of information as a Tesla can, so they weren't sure whether there was some battery heating when they're doing the cable charging, even though the temperature was slightly higher, so it shouldn't have made a difference. But even when they added in the potential of heating affecting that efficiency, it still only brought it up to 77%. So there was definitely a significant increase in efficiency on inductive, which is, it surprised me. They also they piled a bunch of snow on top of the charging pad, and still didn't make any difference at all as far as the charging rate they were getting and the efficiency. So it didn't seem to be affected by water or snow or anything like that. So the screen we got here is from the 10th of the 10th Robotaxi or Cybercab event. And the charging screen there only got up to 25% on their 25 kilowatt, on their little demo they showed. There are 4 patents that Tesla has filed, and that's based on the technology they have purchased. And they claim they've got the capacity to do 120 kilowatt inductive charging. They're also saying that their efficiency is now well above 90%. Now, given the test that Bjorn did back in the day was 2 years ago, so you would expect that the efficiencies and the technology has improved quite a bit. And I've seen some photos of the inductive pads. I wasn't able to find one for this video, unfortunately, but it's definitely a very different design to what the current inductive pads look like. So I'm suspecting they've made some good efficiency gains, and it's actually sounding very good for inductive charging. I was definitely surprised, and I think sorry, just seeing a comment here. Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting. Like I say, that was 2 years ago, so things definitely seem to improve pretty quickly in these sorts of areas. So it'll definitely be interesting. But it was just a surprise to me that it was as efficient as it was. Yeah, whereabouts is that, Hel? What city are you in? As far as EMF goes, that's something else we discussed last week. They had a pretty sophisticated device there they were testing with, and they were measuring 0.3% outside, just in the general atmosphere. When they actually put it into the car while it was charging, the reading actually dropped at when they went down to the footwell level. It went up to 0.6%. Now the maximum safe level is apparently 100%. So looking at minuscule figures, they put it under the car, so between the charging pad and the car, and it went up to 4%. So still very much in the safe levels. And by comparison, they stated that measuring with the same device and the inductive stove measured 6,000%. So definitely a big difference there. Oh yeah, Central Coast. That's definitely needs some more love there for sure. Like you say, it's a big transit area as well for people driving through if they can get service if they need it, and definitely a lot of Teslas in that area. Yeah. So yeah, look, the inductive charging I think is looking very promising. That'd be interesting to see as more details emerge. So Tesla Semi, more news on that. Looks like there was another 200 that got. Sorry, there's this fairly significant number that got built during the week, and estimates now that there's over 200 being tested by Pepsi and others. So good to see. They've also had they've had them over in Germany, and confirmation that they're looking at definitely shipping them worldwide. I know they've made some slight changes to the shape to make them road legal for Europe. And hopefully with the new sort of regulations in Australia, we'll see them over here too. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Yeah, look, the air gap was fairly substantial in the tests that Bjorn were doing, and still had that level of efficiency. So that's fantastic. If Tesla are claiming well over 90%, we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But it sort of rings true to me as far as if they're getting over 80% 2 years ago on the Jaguar, and we know what Tesla have achieved in the past, so it'll be interesting to see. All right, so not quite Tesla related, but I don't know if everyone caught the Starship catch during the week. It's got a little video of it here. Definitely an amazing moment to see this happen and see it successful on the first try. Every bit, to me, it's every bit as revolutionary as the first steps on the moon. But look, the reason I put this here is, with all the evidence we've seen and all the things that were supposedly impossible that has been achieved by Elon and his various companies, I really think that things like FSD, people who still doubt their ability to pull that off, I think they're really clutching at straws. That's just absolutely amazing to see that work first go. We also saw some very positive comments from the NVIDIA CEO, Jensen Huang. Praised the superhuman effort that they were able to set up a supercluster of 100,000 NVIDIA H200s in just 19 days. Jensen said that typically takes up to 4 years. So again, we see all those that like to come out and bash Elon, and I guess it's the smarter than Elon disease that they want to try and make themselves sound smart and that kind of stuff. But claim he lies when he gives overly optimistic estimates for things that have never been done before, like FSD. But conveniently ignore them many times that he and his team have done things that are well ahead of schedule, and things that also were told all the experts told us were impossible. So again, look, you got to give credit where it's due. I mean, certainly there are times where he's been very optimistic and has failed to deliver on time several times over, and FSD is probably the best example of that. But things like the building of new factories, the Model Y, he's come in well ahead of time and made really superhuman type achievements as far as driving his teams to achieve them. Another video that surfaced this week, some Optimus video of it walking around the factory. This is all fully autonomous. And really shows the improvements they've made. It's quite an interesting little video. It's obviously been a lot of I guess negativity on the fact they had the robots doing partially human-controlled movements during the 1010 event. But it certainly is capable, and the fact they had them out there in such proximity to humans and stuff was amazing enough. It's funny how it's carrying that box there. I guess there's no easy way. This was surprising to me to see that's already able to negotiate stairs. Definitely impressive. But yeah, no, definitely a interesting development. It'd be good to see when these are really contributing to the manufacturing processes and start to drive costs down that way. Yeah, look, there's been a number of people leave. I think Elon will be a pretty tough person to work for. He certainly demands a lot, no doubt about that. And from all accounts, he can be a little bit abrasive, putting it mildly. But there's been a lot of people that have lasted quite a long time. These sorts of industries, you do expect quite a bit of churn, and most of the senior executives have lasted quite a while. So I guess that's to be expected in some ways. Some more updated figures on the US market. Again, showing the massive dominance there by Tesla. Obviously, the market share isn't what it was, which is to be expected, but still very impressive. As more competitors come into the market, we expect that the market share is never going to be 100%, obviously. So we expect it to go down. But even if they can, get down to 20%, that's just fine as far as a good market share for this type of market. And some sales figures for China, thanks to AJ on X. Model Y still number 1, and Model 3 sitting at number 6. But the interesting thing here too is looking at the price, obviously in yen, but the price of the 2 to 5 are significantly cheaper than the two Teslas. The fact that they're able to do so well on a vehicle that costs a lot more than the competitors in this type of market as well is definitely a testament to how good these vehicles are. For those in Adelaide, the Cybertruck spotted again. This was posted by Sydney EV on X, and we've got a post by Tesla of it sitting in the Rundle Mall. That was until yesterday, I believe. Not sure if it's doing any other appearances in Adelaide or if it's going to head to Queensland now. That's my understanding, is that Queensland's the next stop. It did spend quite a lot of time in WA, so who knows? It may spend a bit of time around Adelaide, and hopefully those viewers from Adelaide get a chance to see it. Bit of charging news. The first supercharger opened in Chile. So more expansion for the superchargers worldwide. And we had the global 60,000th supercharging stall and the 600th in Japan with the special livery there. Perhaps we see more milestone charges here. That one in Adelaide was a little bit underwhelming. Apparently this one on the left here, the grey one, is the 6,000th supercharger or something like that globally. I'm not sure on that one, but I did read it's obviously a plaque there, so it's some sort of commemorative charger, not the standard white one like that one. So for local news, back to Adelaide again. This is the 4-stall version 4 at Bordertown, now officially open. This was posted by Tesla on X. So this was, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, one of the prefab sleds that come on the back of a truck, already pre-done. So you can see there that pedestal there is all done in the factory. They'll come all mounted, and they just drop them in. It's a very, very quick install. So great to see. Hopefully we'll see more of those popping up as quickly as this one did, because there was a few of these that popped up in that sort of a configuration, and definitely made for a very quick install. Yeah, absolutely. There's quite a few that are sort of have been dragging on for a little while. This is Narrabri. We showed this one as planning a couple of weeks ago, and they've already got the stalls in there starting construction, so good to see. But yeah, there's one at Mackay that's been going on forever. Quite a few that are hopefully going to get sorted out pretty soon, but dragging on a little bit more than some of these other ones. As far as software, we've got version 2024.38 seems to be rolling out now with 38.2. Doesn't seem to have gone to many vehicles yet. I'm guessing it's just wider testing at the moment. And there's not much information at this stage on any new improvements in that branch. But currently we've got over 85% of vehicles all on the .32 branch, which is the first time in a long while we've had such a high percentage all one branch. I had this bit of a discussion with Kev. I haven't seen him online yet, but we had a discussion during the week. There was some YouTube channels claiming that we're going to get FSD here in Australia early in January or something like that. Again, that's just speculation. I don't think that's going to happen as early as that. First half of next year is possible. I really think China is going to be the first cab off the rank. I think there's a decent chance China may happen a little bit earlier than expected. They've said Q1. Based on things I'm hearing and seeing, China may happen by the end of this year. Then I think Europe will be the next to fall. And we generally follow Europe as far as your regulators go. So I'm not expecting anything in Australia till after Europe. So look, there's a chance maybe first half of next year, but I'd be careful of YouTubers claiming they know it's going to happen in January or any particular date at all. Really, it's all speculation at this point. It obviously has a number of factors that are going to play into that. I think the fact that they were using version 13 on the Cyber Taxi event is promising. They obviously are moving quickly with that, so I hope that comes out to the wider public soon, and then I think we may start seeing China and Europe start to look a bit more promising. Yeah, look, Australia is one of the biggest, right-hand markets. I think outside of UK. So yeah, whether UK gets it along with Europe, I don't know if it'll be 6 to 12 months. It depends. It's hard to say. It's all just guesswork at this stage. But we know that the Australian regulators are looking at it. There's been a few studies. We've had Tesla doing some testing in Australia for quite a while now. So it really depends. Fingers crossed. I definitely don't see it early next year. It could be, towards the end of the first half maybe. But we'll wait and see. Oh, hey, Kev, we're just talking about you. Did you get to see the Cybertruck down there in Adelaide? I just want to say a big thank you too for all the support that Electric Kev as my Adelaide there, Sensei, signing up for memberships on YouTube, and we now got the Ko-fi page as well in the description, which Sensei has kindly signed up as a member there as well. So definitely appreciate it. Helps keep things going. And really, really appreciate the support. Don't expect everyone to sign up with memberships, but even just the like and the subscribe is definitely a big help and definitely appreciated. All right. So that's the news for this week. So yeah, look, the Cybertruck, Kev, it definitely looks very different in person. I found it. It's very impressive. Awesome. Yeah, no, I have heard that's definitely coming. Again, that's more rumor than anything else, but I have heard from a few different sources that it's likely to come soon. So that'll be good for those long-range owners. They get a bit more performance. Did they open it up for you and let you look inside and that kind of stuff? I know Sydney, they were a bit reluctant to, even for the people who got sort of behind the scenes looks at it, they were reluctant to open it up. We were fortunate here in Canberra to get a good look inside and open the tonneau covers and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm with you on that. Australia has some really strict rules, as we saw with the tether seats. Yes, with the new Model 3. I don't know how that would work with the 7-seat. I know they're apparently building them in Germany as well. I think the 7-seat Model Y, but I haven't heard anything concrete either way on Australia. So it'll be interesting to see. Definitely, yeah. Look, there's going to be pretty cramped out there. That those seats really are only going to be useful for kids. I did see a photo of them with child seats in them, and they pretty much were against the roof. So you don't want to definitely have anyone bigger than a child in that back seat. Cool. Definitely be good to see. Yeah, look, the X is definitely a better option, and I'm hearing things there as far as the potential for a refresh on the X and the S with the steered by wire and that kind of thing, which would then open the door, I think, for right-hand drive. So I do think it'll happen at some point. No idea when at this point, but there certainly are some fairly well-informed people talking about it. Yeah, look, that's exactly right. Probably the same picture I saw. Yeah, it's definitely not somewhere where you want to be sitting on a long drive if you're bigger than a small child. But yeah, look, for those families that need it, it's an option. It certainly takes up all your luggage space though too. So there's also always trade-offs. Interesting. Yeah, look, I guess it's also possible that they just move away from the S and the X. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the costs involved in having both lines going if they went to if it would be worthwhile producing a right-hand drive still just to get the numbers up. Obviously, most components would be transferable, but if they were to do the steer-by-wire, that would obviously make things a lot easier for them again. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Oh, nice, Kev. You mean to rent, or you don't mean to buy one? Definitely be fun on the Autobahn, that's for sure. Definitely be keen to see that video. Yeah, look, I've still got my original tyres, so I don't know. I haven't tried anything else. I don't know that the foam inserts really make that much difference. But look, I guess they're there for a reason. I'm not sure, but yeah, it may make a very slight difference, but who knows? We've also got the Sydney EV show coming up, and again, it happens to fall on the same weekend that I'm in Brisbane for an event. So I've managed to do it twice now. It's a bit annoying. I don't know if you guys are going to make it to this Sydney EV show, but it would have been good. I have to make sure that my family knows not to do anything for the next one. Nice. Get lots of photos, mate. Good to see. Yeah, hopefully next one I'll be able to block that weekend away and make sure nothing gets booked. Good stuff, Hal. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll close it up. Definitely thanks for the chat and thanks for joining in. Much appreciated. If you're watching the replay, make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Look, as I say, if you want to support the channel, there's links there for Ko-fi, which is a way of doing it without having all the money go to YouTube. It's really appreciated, but not expected. Definitely the likes and subscribe are more than appreciated, and comments as well. If you've got anything you want to suggest, then definitely feel free to put it in the comments. And next week we've got a special guest on, as I mentioned, so that'll be a good one. So definitely make sure you're here for that, and it should be a good session. Anyhow, thanks again, guys. Catch you next time.